some breaking news to bring you out of Washington. The Trump administration, it appears, is ready to begin Joe Biden's formal transition into the White House. The CBC's Katie Simpson joins us with the very latest. Katie, this just came across Twitter, of course. Where else? The president, the current president, tweeting out in essence that things can start moving in that direction.
Yeah, and to add to that, there is a bureaucrat, a woman named Emily Murphy, who Canadians will probably not know. She has a job, it's a bureaucratic job, and she oversees the formal, or she plays a significant role in starting that transition process. And normally a person like this doesn't necessarily make news because we haven't seen the kind of resistance to the transition, despite the election call being made about 2 weeks ago now. But today there was a letter from this woman, Emily Murphy. Her title is she's the General Services Administrator. And she has put out a statement saying that it appears that Joe Biden is the president-elect and that he can now, they can now officially begin the transition process. This is going to give the Biden team access to millions of dollars to actually start the formal transition process. There has been a lot of pressure on the White House at this time to start that transition process, particularly because of the pandemic. The Biden team had been arguing that because they need to be able to hit the ground running in January when they do take over, they need to be able to start this transition process and then eventually be able to talk to people at the Health and Human Services and different departments that deal with coronavirus. But we have the letter. Part of the letter says, she said, Emily Murphy says she was never directly or indirectly pressured by any executive branch official, including those who work at the White House or the General Services Administration, in her decision to move forward. Donald Trump, though, however, has put out some tweets on that. We have the first tweet says, I want to thank Emily Murphy at GSA for her steadfast dedication and loyalty to our country. She has been harassed, threatened, and abused, and I do not want to see that happen to her or her family or her employees of GSA. Our case strongly continues. We will keep up the good fight, and I believe we will prevail. Nevertheless, in the best interest of our country, I am recommending that Emily and her team do what she needs to be done with regard to initial protocols, and I've told my team to do the same. So that second tweet,
that's a big deal. That second part is the key part. Yeah.
That is the key part there, saying he's, even though he keeps saying they're going to continue to fight this in court, all of the legal arguments that the Trump team has tried to make have completely fallen flat. Some have been dismissed outright. Others are based in conspiracy theories. And over the weekend, the Trump legal team dismissed or distanced themselves from another member of the legal team. So it hasn't been going very well in that fight to try and prove something that doesn't exist. So Donald Trump has stuck to that. But that second tweet there where he says, in the best interest of our country, I am recommending that Emily and her team do what needs to be done with regard to initial protocols. Maggie Haberman, who is a reporter at the New York Times, who's broken a number of stories out of the White House, particularly around this Trump administration, she's describing this on Twitter as the closest to a concession that we're likely going to get from the president. So that is something extremely significant in this overall transition period, Vashi.
I think we're coming up nearly 3 weeks now from Election Day. So this has been where a lot of attention has been focused. Certainly, Joe Biden, and we'll talk about this in a second, has gone through all the the various transition team. He's announced team members. He's done a lot of those things, but he has been essentially held back from being privy to much of the classified information that he needs, as you pointed out, all that kind of stuff. So this is a big deal that President Trump is saying that. Just have about 30 seconds left.
It's a big deal. And the other thing is we're starting to see some members of the Republican Party start to speak out against President Trump over the weekend. We saw Larry Hogan, who's the Republican governor of Maryland. He's been critical of Trump through the entire coronavirus process. Chris Christie, who's a longtime Trump ally who got COVID at one of the super spreader events at the White House, he called what's going on in court a national embarrassment. And then a CEO of a key financial company that is close to Trump, he spoke out and said, it's time to begin this process. So again, there had been pressure mounting, and it appears the president, this is a step toward that.
All right. Thanks, Katie. Appreciate you delivering that breaking news for us. The CBC's Katie Simpson from Washington. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.